Hello and welcome to the Illumination Cinema Movie Podcast. I'm Tyler.
I'm Chris.
I'm Beth.
And today we're starting off a new thing we're doing called Cartoon Network Week.
Cartoon.
And we're starting off strong with Courage the Cowardly Dog Show, starring Courage the Cowardly Dog. Abandoned as a pup, he was found by Muriel, who lives in the middle of nowhere with her husband, Eustace Bagg.
But creepy stuff happens in nowhere. It's up to Courage to save his new home.
To gear up for this, we watched a few episodes, just a bunch of ones that we could remember really well, and we just as a refresher. I mean, I've been watching them. I've been still watching Courage for the last couple of years. But we watched a few of them. We watched Demon in the Mattress and Freaky Fred, King Ramses' Curse, and the one with the foot, the big old fungus foot.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember what that one was called. Courage in the Big Stinkin' City / Curse of Shirley, Robot Randy, and Tree of Nowhere. So we might start off by asking, do you guys remember the first time you ever saw Courage?
Man, I could not tell you the first time I saw Courage was probably when I first saw it. I was I don't know when it first came out, I guess, and it's kind of
I know when I first saw it.
Yeah.
This is a very special story because there was a Scooby-Doo movie called Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders, and I had it on VHS, and at the end of at the beginning of the movie they say, oh hey, stay tuned after the movie because there's a episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog, and I'm oh, what's this? And they had Scooby and Shaggy dressed as monsters scaring Courage.
Dig this, Yappy Dog. We'll handle all the creepy villain angles on this network. Well, Yappy Dog.
And so then, at the end, the movie ends. First time I saw it, it's King Ramses' Curse. So, of course, it's one of the most horrifying episodes for a 6-year-old to watch.
Return the slab. Return the slab, or suffer my curse.
What's your offer?
The way King Ramses is just does not blend in with the rest of the environment. He's so unnatural looking and totally separate from everything else in the show. It freaked me out so much with the slow voice and just everything about it. And I was so scared of it. Every time I put in that movie, one of two things would happen. I'd watch the movie, and I'd either run to the TV to press the stop button, or I would, it's too late. I have to run away from the TV and, cover my eyes and ears, because the scary thing's about to come on.
I could see as a little kid be no! Let me know!
So that was my introduction to it, and eventually, of course, I think I started watching Cartoon Network a little bit later, and that was about the time when I kind of realized, oh, this is a comedy show, and the scary stuff is just kind of a part of it. And then I loved the show from there on out. Do you have a...
Yeah, the earliest episode I can remember is the one with the Duck Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember being scared of any of the episodes.
How old were you? Do you know?
Really young, probably.
So I was just a baby.
Yeah, 99. Probably 2 or 3 when I was watching these. So really long time. I would remember watching Courage and Ed and Eddie.
Yeah. And
then Johnny Bravo. So yeah. I didn't find it scary when I was younger, but as I got older, I would watch it. I'm oh, that's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
I remember whenever I was first watching the show, I was this is a very, very different sort of show from what was like on. Like, so you mentioned like Johnny Bravo and like there's like Dexter's Lab and whatever else. So we're gonna be covering that.
Yeah, like
the rest of the week.
we have the cartoons.
Yeah, and like this was like the way that it was drawn. I immediately noticed like it was very very different from.
Yeah, the stylistically it's completely different from all the others. Like the rest of them have like the bold outlines and like they're very like the flat colors. Like this one in terms of art style is completely different. That's
one of the interesting things you brought up was about King Ramsay's curse. Was like he's like that 2D like weird thing, whatever, and like they do that sort of thing. And there's also like an episode where like we actually watched with the magic tree, was like the weird like mouth thing in there
projected onto like the animation.
It was like the Cone show like where he had like the screen would come down. There's like the guy like some like politician or whatever on there. He had the projected mouth like kind of talking.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking.
Oh, the other one was like the big old floating like head. That was like just it was like really weird.
Yeah.
Why is this in a cartoon?
I mean, like we'll probably go more into like the creator John Dilworth himself later on, but like he's all like in everything he's done, he's always like a fan of mixed media, and this is like a fucking smorgasbord of it. Like it's really great, like how many different styles of animation you'll see put into this one show. And like something that I was really surprised by, like kind of putting a more critical eye to it for this, was that they used a lot of like rendered textures from like photographs or like just in the computer. Like they added textures into like the backgrounds, and it holds up. Like it doesn't look terrible.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a favorite episode that you can pick, or not even like a 2-part thing, like just one of the shorts?
Probably King Ramsay's.
Yeah, mine's probably Courage in the Big Stinking City.
I was making notes yesterday. That's what I've been looking at this entire time. I'm cheating. I'm my cheat sheets. I wrote down like 3 different episodes throughout the entirety of the night. And I've gotten it down to Demon in the Mattress and Big Stinkin' City because like there's so many jokes in both of them that like make me laugh hysterically. Like
you probably like having Eustace dress up like the moo moo and
the stupid like incantation that they have to do is hilarious.
Incantation to exorcise demon. What? Hullabaloo and howdy do. Musty prawns and Timbuktu. Yeltsy bye and hippity poo. Kick 'em in the dishpan, hoo hoo hoo. Kick 'em in the dishpan, hoo hoo hoo.
It's a great parody of like The Exorcist, and the cup with the come closer.
Closer. It would be lovely if I could have a cup of tea.
He like screams and he's like, why did I scream?
That's one thing about Courage. There's everything is so extra in Courage. What episode was it that we were watching with? I can't do the voice, but he said, "I have a cure for your broken leg." Like that part was just
It's so like the humor in it is so weird, and it's like it's a combination of like contemporary humor, but also like it's got like the Tex Avery like visual gags that
Yeah, there's no boundaries.
Yeah, that he was like this is what like Dilworth was brought up on.
Right.
Like, and it, like I mean like this was around the time when Cartoon Network was still playing like classic cartoons. So I mean like it felt completely different, but it was still totally in place because like it had those classic cartoon gags from like the Golden Age, and then you had the Golden Age cartoons playing around it.
Yeah, like the Flintstones, Jetsons,
like Bugs Bunny.
Oh yeah, Looney Tunes. Yeah, it's interesting. Like you can like sort of see the progression of cartoons on there. Like you know, we'll obviously get into that. You know, because we're going to cover the current shows at some point in this week. But like you can see, like it's like watch like the Flintstones or the Looney Tunes, or then you watch like Courage or Johnny Bravo, that little section right there, and then like you watch like the newest generation, like just looking at that evolution of animation on for TV shows, kind of see like how they differ, even like how
like both negatively and positively.
Yeah, like you see like maybe like even like how censorship can affect like different eras essentially. Like, you know, I remember like originally the Flintstones had like smoking in there, and I was like that was like they were like showing off that was like Lucky Strike or whatever. And you could never do that.
Like in the 90s,
any cartoon, unless it's like, you know, like Family Guy, like they like to know, like, okay, this is like a...
Well, yeah, you have to put that in the later, like,
later
adult cartoon
Adult
block.
Swim, like the 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock and onwards, you can have that sort of stuff in there. But yeah, it's just... I remember like whenever they first like introduced Adult Swim, I know I'm getting kind of far away from that, but I just remember like, you know, like that sort of thing, like they're like accepting, like, okay, there's gonna be an adult block right here.
Right. And I mean, like, you know, in the early days, they always tried to like kind of like they had a little section at one point of like later in the night they played older like Bugs Bunny cartoons that had like some of the like the more disagreeable. Like
good way to put it.
like some of like the racist imagery and like you know to preserve like the historical value of the cartoon. Like Warner Brothers has always been good about that sort of thing, like not ignoring that these things happened.
Yeah, and they have a little notice that actually says in there like, hey, you know, we're presenting this thing in like the way it originally was made.
Yeah.
Now, to bring it back to Courage for a second.
Yeah.
Courage is a very, like I would count it kind of like dark. Kids show, because it's, you know, it's parodying, you know, the horror genre in like the cartoon like kids sort of style, but still it's still you watch Dexter Lab and then you watch this right here. There's a tonal shift that happens.
Good parody does a good job of replicating what it's parodying.
And you talk about The Exorcist, like they you know, the parody like that was
the atmosphere of that episode. Feel like, and like that's another crazy thing about this show is that like it has the art direction and like the colors will change up with each episode. Like you'll see like red skies in different episodes, and then like there's a lot of like in the Demon in the Mattress episode, there's a lot of like work with red and green, and like their house like it turned green whenever she was the demon, and like that stuff always looks great. And like Courage is a nice like contrast to whatever backgrounds. So, does anyone have like a favorite character, whether it be of the main cast or like one of the villains?
Eustace.
Yeah,
easy. Done.
And like I mean, Eustace has now had 3 voice actors.
Is that 3 of them?
Yeah.
Wow.
There was Lionel Wilson. I might be butchering this actually, but Lionel Wilson was the first one. He's definitely the best one. There was Arthur Anderson in the later seasons because Lionel passed away, and he does a pretty good job of replicating the first one. And then there's Wallace Shawn from The Princess Bride, and he plays Rex in Toy Story.
Okay,
A very recognizable voice.
Yeah.
And he plays him in the new CG short that was recently produced, The Fog of Courage, and it's a completely different voice at this point, but like it still works. Like he still gets the character right.
They weren't like able to do like the Mako sort of thing where they had like
they didn't have like an understudy or anything. Like
it's too bad.
But I mean, like I think it's Thea White is the name of the actress who plays Muriel. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tyler. And she's been Muriel the entire time, and it's she's great. She's like probably in terms of like the heroes of the story, probably like one of my second favorite because she's so oblivious to everything going on. She reminds me of my grandma.
I like the fact that like all this like creepy stuff happens in nowhere, and it's
up to Courage to save his new home.
But these people still are like, we're gonna keep living here. Or like something weird happens, like, oh no, Courage, you're being silly about this. Like, no, you guys literally had a mattress, the King Ramses curse, Eustace has died like 5 times in the show. He's been blown up like what was it, like 3 or 4 times, whatever it was in like the robot episode we watched. Like
going back to Eustace, I can't think of like an old, like grouchy, stubborn, greedy old man character with Eustace's like quirks and qualities.
This pitch would never work today.
Right.
Like, you could never have a cartoon about old people.
Right.
Like, but they're perfect because they're not going, like, they're so oblivious to everything. Like these sort of like stereotype characters. Stereotype's probably the wrong word, but like archetype.
Archetype of like tool people.
Yeah, and like it's perfect, and then like Courage is the one who knows what's going on. Like it's a Dilworth usually works in 3s, and this is a perfect trio. Like, do you have a favorite villain? Would it be King Ramses?
Man, that's kind of a tough one right there. Like, there's so many like really good ones.
There's of course Freaky Fred.
Courage. Your hair.
Yeah, so Freaky Fred. That's
yeah.
Well, those are tied. Again, I got this. I'm saying now, King Ramses and Freaky Fred. They're tied.
Especially because he takes over his episode.
Yeah, that whole episode was just him.
Mine's probably tied between Schwick and Freaky Fred.
Yeah, it has to be Schwick for me. I mean, like, King Ramses is the one that scared me the most, obviously, when I was a kid. But like Schwick is so the little run he does, like the little
dun, 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 dun.
Like he's also like eating like the
he has the mannerisms of an actual roach, like he's like playing with his antennas, and it's great. I love Schwick.
Also, like
just Schwick.
There are like points when he's like talking to where his eyes are just like staring off into space.
Yeah.
And I just love that.
Yeah.
What's behind that door? You don't want to know what's behind that door. You see these bones? You want to know what made these bones? You don't want to know what made these bones. I'm sending your kid out for some coffee. Go! And no cops.
Well, that's one thing about Courage is that, like, something will happen or whatever, and like at the very end of it, something like extra silly might happen, like so the house lifting up or whatever. Like, there's always like some like UFO thing happening or whatever. It's like in there that's a very like farm stuff that happens on the farm. Getting abducted and.
Yeah, it's the urban legends of the Midwest. It's all like, this is what this show is all about. Like,
all in Kansas.
Yeah, all in the middle of nowhere. Let's for a moment here. Let's just talk about Dilworth for a minute, because I know you and I are like I'm guessing both of us have like watched like pretty much all the short films, and or at least a good chunk of them.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've like if you ventured too far beyond Courage.
Nope.
Like, this is a pretty tame version of his style. Like, they're like almost, you'll watch other ones and like almost everyone has the goddamn sausage eyes.
Yeah, I remember like there's a newer one kind of with like a bird, like a yellow bird or something.
Oh, that's an older one. That's Dirty Birdie.
Okay. All right.
So you classify him as like an auteur, that like you can like tell like his work from.
Oh, definitely. Like he's all about like doing his own thing while also taking elements from like other things that inspire him, or like taking from life and then like just mangling it up into this weird fucking movie, whatever he's making. And that's the guy is practically a cartoon character himself. Like,
whoa, wow, what a trip! He's crazy. This guy's crazy.
You have to go on to his YouTube channel, Stretch Films, and oh my god.
We watched one yesterday where he was talking about something. Like the whole time, his camera was just like on like a plant or something. At the very end, he turns the camera.
He's turning the camera around to like press the stop button or whatever, and like it's just like his face.
Hello and welcome to the Silly Dilly universe. I'm Silly Dilly.
He had his YouTube channel. I found it a few years ago, and it was pretty much a dead channel. Like, he just posted up a bunch of his short films. Now he's like, he posts like work in progress shots from his new short film. He posts like a bunch of old Courage stuff. He posts like commentaries for episodes. And then he like just posts weird shit where he does like animal impressions. Yeah, like the guy is a total fan pleaser. Like, he really actually cares about like doing things like, you know, within reason for his fans.
Right.
And like, you know, like that's why I did like the commentaries, that they weren't available on the DVD. So like, it's usually just like him in front of a camera talking about it. It's like, okay, here's the sinking point, go ahead. But yeah, I mean, it's too early to say because we haven't done the rewatch of everything yet. But this could possibly like be one of like nowadays be one of my favorites of like, you know, like of these shows like now.
Kind of curious like how well they hold up.
Yeah, this one completely holds up. Yeah. If we had to give a Jamie rating, what would it be?
Oh jeez, I was not prepared for Jamie rating. That's not fair. You go first.
Well, there are a few little comments I want to make, kind of about the animation style and like what I really love. The sky and the moon. Anytime they show the moon, it's like this huge, magnificent like. Then the people, they all have their own little like style thing, but like their hands are all bony and they're all skinny and they have these like long chins, and then Courage and his teeth. There's something always happening to his teeth. Like, I think one episode we watched, he like pulled one out and you could see like the nerve endings.
Yep.
Yeah.
His teeth and his tongue.
He's like wiggling his tongue against it.
Yeah, I remember like losing a tooth and be like, oh, that's so cool.
Yep.
I could do that. Now if I lose a tooth, it's like, oh god.
Oh no, it's wiggling.
and the noises.
Yeah,
Because
and
when he
the
was
sound
doing
effects are
that,
great.
He was doing that and it's less like.
Yeah. So what's your Jamie rating, Beth?
10.
A 10?
10.
I you know, like they're when the episodes are good, they're amazing. Like there's a laugh a minute. Like there are some that are kind of like, okay, like let's just get through it.
Right.
Like there's mediocre ones. So I probably like I'd give this a solid 9.5.
Right. Okay.
Like
Okay, I'll go with that. Yeah, I was going
Yeah.
with like 9.5. Like definitely. Yeah, there's like a few episodes where like I was kind of like, this episode again.
Right.
But most time, yeah, you're like, yay.
The good ones are so good that it makes up for any like, you know, mediocre ones.
And typically they have like maybe like a mediocre one or like another one's like actually really good, like because it's, you know, it's 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Maybe the 2 like half episodes.
Yeah, like the classic 11-minute too short format.
Yeah, so it's like okay, this one wasn't good. Next one might be really good. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess that concludes our episode on Courage the Cowardly Dog. Tomorrow we'll be back with Ed, Edd, and Eddy.
Great. Bye. Okay. Great. He's doing the freeze frame thing.